Well, I guess it was just a matter of time before I decided to connect my two stations here. If you remember from my other videos, I have my Chicago station, and then I built my addition there around the window over here, come into my West Coast stations. And of course there was a gap right there where the doorway is, and I never wanted to block the doorway, but I decided to make a lift out section that would connect the two. Well, I wanted to make this as simple as possible, but it really wasn't too difficult. First thing I had to do was raise these two tracks here up about 3/8 of an inch, because I really didn't want to cut into this area here, and because I wanted it to look nice when the bridge wasn't installed like it is right now. So the first thing I need to do to put the bridge in is I remove these two bumpers, which is very simple. And then I put some brackets down here, and I just swing these brackets out on this side, and that supports one end of the bridge. And over on this side, I just remove this little cardboard station here, and I have this little metal rod. I just drilled a little hole here in the molding, the door molding. Put that rod in there to give a little support, and then right here put swing out these two little, actually they're old door hinges, work just like a little tie plate, and that's the support for the other end. And then I put screws up through here and a screw up through here to hold it in place. And now I'll put the bridge in. Okay, here's one end of the bridge. Set it right there. And then I swing over here. Set the other edge right here. And now I'll turn the camera off here. I'll put these two screws in that I was telling you about. Okay, now I'm going to connect the track here. I really didn't want to fool around with a lot of wiring and electrical connections and all that, so what I did is on the end of these pieces of track I just cut away a couple of the plastic the simulated spikes there, and I slid the rail joiners all the way back in flush with the rail. So I just put that piece of track there, and then that fits right down flush in there, and then I just slide the rail joiner, take a pair of needle nose pliers and slide the rail joiner onto the other rail. Okay, I'll have to turn off the camera now and then I'll finish that. Okay, so I got those all connected in, and I have plastic insulators right here. So the block that controls over here on the west end stops right here, and the block that controls the track over here to the east end stops right here. So there wasn't any rewiring or anything special that I had to do. Now I'll hook up these other tracks here. Okay, now to hook up these tracks over here, since it's two curved sections of track, it was I didn't have to do that thing with the rail joiners, because these you can just pull these out, as you can see here, and they just have enough slack and enough leeway there that you can just pull them out and then slide them back in. And they just sit there nice. I don't tack those down or anything. And we're all ready to run some trains. We'll start by running the North Coast Limited here. Coming in the Chicago station. The Union Station in Chicago is kind of unique. I think it was the only station in the United States that was built like this. It actually had like 8 or 9 tracks. Got to turn the black switch on over there. There wasn't any power to that section. As I was saying, the Union Station had 8 or 9 tracks going south and about 8 or 9 tracks going north. There were stub tracks. And then right next to the river, on the east side, which was right on the Chicago River, they had two or three tracks that were through tracks, traveled right straight through from north to south. So just kind of a little simulation of that. And there's quite a few variations I can do with this now. I can either run 2 trains at once around this outside circle and then switch them over to the inside loops, and I can run another train out here in just a second. Here comes the Empire Builder. And now I'll bring the North Coast Limited out here to the inside loop, and then we'll run a couple of different trains around the opposite direction on the outside. So now we're running the Olympian Hiawatha, Milwaukee Road. The Northwestern freight train coming around right behind it. Coming in, going on one of the through tracks. They actually did run freight trains through Union Station on the north and south through tracks that I was telling you about. That was another reason why they did that, I guess. Built it that way. Well, I can actually run 5 trains at once now on there pretty much continuously. But the only thing I have to do is just make sure these two don't run into each other. And about 70 feet of track around the outside. So they can run one behind the other without running into each other. Well, I guess that's about all. I think over here on this little empty space here on the bridge, I'm going to put in a couple of dummy tracks here and make a kind of a maintenance away facility, park some of these work cars there. Just make a little bit of scenery there. So, okay, we'll talk to you later then.